sunshine.
Shut your whole ass
You
up.
you are the whole ass angry person.
So
No, you are. Kia McClain says that happened to her last week about the service for a car. No reminder, email, or text. Yeah, that's just bad business. That's where you lose money. You do not advertise brands that are not paying you. How you know they're not paying you? How you know they're not paying me? You see all these new flowers back here?
man, them flowers ain't paying. Man, them people ain't paying you.
Nah, they're not paying me because they be paying us. But I'm drinking Chick-fil-A today.
And they
It's just what we
damn
doing.
sure ain't paying you.
Oh no, they not, especially with no cigars and tobacco.
Yeah, nah,
They
nah, nah.
they are not. But hey, look, they don't need my advertisement. Look, them waffle fries sell they sell.
Them waffle fries and that
Them
chicken,
waffle
that's
fries
gonna
sell
sell
they
itself.
sell. I put them on my plant-based diet. I added them to the plant-based. They was like, you can't really do that. I said, potato is a plant. Thank you very much. It's plant is a derivative of a plant. I
Yeah,
put
but
them
all
on
that
my
grease,
plant-based diet.
all that grease ain't gonna help you none.
Man, if you cut out all the other grease, that grease is still good. A little bag goes a long way. It goes good.
I guess, man. I guess. So what
Mm.
what we gonna talk about? Because the people that was supposed to be in here, they ain't in here. So what we gonna do?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'll go ahead and hit the subject, man. A friend to the show, Cigars and Sneaks, reached out. She had a topic that she wanted to broach, man, and I'm gonna read it as it is. But she was talking about man code, guy code. And from a woman's perspective, I thought it was a pretty unique question that she asked me, and I'm gonna read it. She said, she was saying she didn't know how to approach it, but she was just wanting to know my thoughts on the scenario involving guy code, friendship, good character, and morality. And
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was pretty interesting for a woman to ask a question or be inquisitive about guy code. Wanting to know what is the right way, how should men act. She was curious to know more so. I think there was a specific scenario, and she may join us in a little bit. She said she could, but it brings about a question, man. What do people feel about the guy code? Do they feel it's a real thing, or it's just something that's ego based? Like in dating. You and your friend, y'all know a girl. Your friend starts dating a girl. They split up. You know, he starts dating her later, maybe even a year later, but he starts dating her later. Is that a violation of the guy code? Is that a G code violation? That's what we call that,
Yes.
G code violation. And so those are the things. So it's a G code violation. I agree. I don't go behind my partners.
Yeah, that's definitely a G code violation right there.
Do you think women feel the same way about that though, from their perspective? Like, do you think? And I wonder about that. If we got some women in here, let us know how you feel. I've seen some women that do that. They specialize in that. They'll break up with a dude and be messing with his partner 2 weeks later.
Well, I mean, that's these new people.
Yeah. Them G code violations be real though, man. I see people do stuff like that, and I always wonder, you know, what does that look like? Like, what does that really mean to people? Is it something that's preposterous? Is it something that's real to people today? Guy code violations, G code violations. What would you say is the biggest G code violation? Have you ever experienced that with a friend?
Uh,
What would you consider a
not with
G
one of
code
my
violation?
friends, not with one of my friends, but a friend of a friend. I watched it happen. I watched the G code, a man code violation happen. Uh, uh, I don't know if I wanna. Well, I ain't gonna say no names. Uh,
Do we know him? Shit.
nah. But
Oh
I
well,
just
yeah.
I don't
Oh
want to say
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah,
names.
yeah. You don't want to say
So
no name. Yeah.
one friend and his friends would go to the Dominican Republic a couple times a year. They went, uh, and they took one of their other friends with them. So they came
Uh-huh.
back from Dominican Republic, and the other friend told the other friends' wives what was going on in the
Oh,
Dominican Republic.
that's a real G code violation. Somebody need that. That's an ass whoop.
Yeah, I mean that's man code violation right there. You know,
For real.
uh, I'm not saying that anything is I'm not saying that anything that they did was or wasn't detrimental
Mm-hmm.
to the marriage, but uh, what happens out there, I mean, kind of leave it alone. I mean, it ain't for everybody. And you done disappeared. His old ass phone might have died. Anyway, what's going
Man,
on,
my
Laura?
phone didn't die, man. My
What
daughter
up,
called
though?
twice. I had to tell Felicia to go, you'll call her and make sure she good. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. What's up?
Not much, not much. We kind of started the topic just a couple of seconds ago. I think you were in there, so we started the topic without you. But I thought after chatting with you a little bit earlier when we were texting that was a great question. So how did you get to that? Like, what made you uh you know think about that?
Um, y'all talking about it. Y'all deep into it. One
Probably,
aspect of it.
probably what I was talking about.
No, but see, I had to do
Oh
a little
no.
research on it. What is
Uh
that?
huh.
And basically, you really defined it. And that's why I was talking about it from a morality standpoint, from a
Right.
character
Hmm.
Right.
standpoint. But so I probably would have to tell you off the live, but um. trying to figure how what do I pick out of the story. So something happened basically, and
Hmm.
the person who did something terrible that I thought was terrible to me was introduced to me by a mutual friend. Now I can't say I can blame the mutual friend for how this other guy acted, but the
Uh-huh.
thing was when I asked him a direct question about this guy, he chose to completely ignore, the question. And so that was a few months ago, to be honest. But someone else who's a friend who's a female, um, I saw her, she posted a picture of the dude, like, oh, look who all was at this, at this event. I'm like,
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
man, how can people just go back and hang around these people like they didn't do anything wrong? So I'm thinking like women don't necessarily have a code from what I've read, but guys can have a subculture of a bro code, and it's like I wonder, do what's your take on you guys' take on, I guess, holding other men accountable, when they
Okay.
You
do
want to take that,
something
Ray?
wrong, or is
Hmm.
it sometimes do you think that what they did was not wrong simply because the quote unquote victim was a female?
No. So holding my brothers accountable, I do that.
Yeah.
If I see you moving a certain way, hey man, that's not a good look. You shouldn't be moving that way. We got to move this. We're better than that. All of these things. That's what I'm gonna tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Me. He talking
Right.
about me. He might not
I
tell the
mean,
next. He
I mean,
might not tell the next one. He
any
gonna tell
friend,
me though.
anybody who I call a friend or a brother, that's what I'll if I see you moving in a certain way, I'm gonna say something
Hmm.
to him. What
I,
I'm
I
not
agree.
gonna do, what I'm not gonna do is when we all together, or when I'm around him and his significant other. Hey man, what you was doing? yesterday. That was, last month, man. That was. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with him accordingly, away from everybody.
But if
If I'm
I'm,
asked a direct question,
yeah.
if I'm asked a direct question, I don't know nothing about it.
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, but what if the female in the scenario was also supposed to be your sis? Like y'all had your own thing. Like
So,
y'all already, and
so
she asked you point blank.
she, I'm going to tell the truth. If I ain't see nothing, I ain't saw it.
Okay, that's fair. But if you did see it,
I don't see stuff like that.
your eyes don't your eyes don't work like that.
I don't see stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. Since
My
we
God.
since we on the subject of man code, I don't see stuff like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
I will definitely correct my brother when he's wrong.
That's
hundred
true.
percent. I will definitely
That's
correct my
true.
brother when he's wrong.
And
Also,
that's it. Go ahead,
another
Ray. I'm sorry.
I will never get into a domestic issue. I don't get into those
Mm.
issues because let's say I do, then what happens? I lose my friend.
Yeah.
Every time you're gonna lose your friend. You're going to lose that friend every time. Is it going to make him better? No. Is it going to make her better? No. Because I had a friend, this was shit, about 17 years ago. Me and him, we worked at the same place. We was real cool. We was over at his mama house. He said, my mom making gumbo, come over. Go over to his mama house. His sister come in the door and say, my boyfriend beat me up. And she definitely beat up. So needless to say, we get up, we hopped in the truck, we went to the house, we had a conversation with him. Conversation.
Yeah.
The next week, go back to his mama house. Guess who walk in? Them
Oh.
together,
Loving
right?
each other.
Man, like nothing happened. And I say, okay, I I don't get involved in those situations for the simple fact that I've seen plenty of videos where the dude slapped the eyelashes off a woman, and when you go to jump on him,
Mm.
she jump on him.
She jump on you.
That's been going on for centuries, for
So I stay
decades.
out of that. Again, I will hold my brother accountable.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I'm just
tell
gonna
him.
say ditto. I'm gonna say ditto to all of that. You know, but the thing is that I would definitely have that conversation with him, away from everybody and say, hey man, I would at least if I did see something, hey man, don't put me in that position. Whatever you got going on, you need to keep that away. Don't put me in a position to have to lie or to
Right.
have to, to because they say everything done in the dark comes out anyway. It comes to
Mm.
light anyway at some
Yeah.
point, and it's usually not intentional when it happens. You drive you 6 states away, and you run into a friend of your if you cheating, you run into a friend of your wife at a I'm a black man or something. I'm in a Jewish sandwich shop and run into a friend of my wife's that's
That
out
you don't
there
know.
that I don't even know. It's always something like that. It's never because somebody was following you or they found something. It's usually some type of coincidental thing, and so it's not really worth the effort to do certain things. I think uh, in respect to your question, um, I concur completely with Ray. Though I wouldn't do anything. But let me ask you this: they talk about G code violations, but I have a lot of lady friends, and it's almost like they got the same thing though. They just call it something different. Like, what happens on the girls' weekend, stay on the girls' weekend. They not gonna tell. Guys say bros before hoes. Excuse my French, but women seem to have the same kind of standard, don't they? And if
not
y'all
not
if
none
y'all
I
got
hang
any
around.
thoughts in the comments, let us know.
I think that when it comes to this certain this type of situation, um, I think dealing with your friend is what is the best thing to do,
Yeah.
because if if women see their girl out with
Mm-hmm.
somebody else, you're not gonna call her significant other, or when you see him, be like, hey, she was hanging out at Jimmy John's with Philip. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You're not gonna
Right.
do that. Y'all gonna give him the okay look and move on.
You know
You know,
this.
uh
Right. I
huh.
mean, you're gonna ask questions to see what she was doing. And I understand that as
You'll
far
ask
as
her
friends,
questions, right?
huh?
You ask her the
You
questions
Yeah,
if
because
you
Right.
me
You're
deal
and
gonna
we're
with
ask
not
her.
her
asking no
questions,
questions.
huh?
That's a G code violation for us to ask questions.
Now, let's flip it. Now let's
Yeah.
flip it. Your homegirl significant other asks you, is she doing this and that and the other?
Hmm.
Would you tell it, or would you? I never seen her do nothing like that. What would you do?
Good question. Yeah, I go to because I wouldn't I wouldn't condone that. I end a friendship over somebody you know being a cheater or whatever. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
That's a answer I was not expecting.
That's I wasn't expecting that at all. But it's
What you
I think when you
expected?
dealing with that G code stuff like that, everybody. I think the simple thing, everybody wants the relationships to stay intact. It's not always about the integrity. Whatever integrity is there is because at the end of the day, they want the relationships to stay intact and not change. And so that's why I come with the whole thought process of, hey, don't put me in this position because, you put me in this position, then, I don't know how this is going to turn out. But a lot of I'm going to say code violations ain't even all about relationships. Sometimes it's about, the way we deal with each other as people too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I
You
was
know,
gonna say next.
hmm
Because y'all talking about it in in relationship context, and I wasn't
right,
necessarily talking about it in relationships, but I understand what you're saying. But the thing about what I would call bro code is, as you said, bros before hoes, and hoes is defined as anybody that you're not married to, but in a sense, sometimes they are calling the wife,
right,
because it's men over women, and it has a lot to do with making sure that the man is above the woman, and that their relationship with each other, their ego and everything, is dominating the woman. So that
Hmm.
that really is, I guess, the my primary kind of question when it comes to having the idea of dominating over females type situation. Not necessarily in relationships, but for example, if there's a woman or whatever, and all the dudes, just say in the lounge, are like, well, have you tried to talk to her? Like, no, I struck out, whatever. Well, you can try, you know what I mean? And so then they go behind the girl's back or whatever, and then they try to set up a situation to see if she'll fall for him type situation. that's that's kind of what I feel like happened in my case.
Well,
you know
it,
but for me, I'm feeling like it was a bros before, because you
yeah,
know when I asked this guy that's supposed to be my homie point
mhm.
blank, is this the guy that you were telling me that that supposedly liked me left on scene. I kid you
Hmm.
not.
Oh
Left on
wow.
Wow.
scene.
Oh wow.
Left
So
on scene.
so yeah, Mount Olympus says that's petty and immature shit. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, if we sitting out and you see somebody and you go and talk to them and you strike out, you don't get no play, none of that. And I'm sitting there and I see you do it and I see how she reacts, but I like her too, and I want to go talk. If I see that you done struck out,
Yeah.
then I might do a little recon
Right.
Right.
to
I
see
understand.
how
Yeah.
he approached what you said and how you said it. You know what I'm saying? Might do a little bit of recon about that, but not a well, I was gonna say not a bet, but we used to do that shit all the time. I bet you I can get her. No, you can't.
Right. Yeah, like
you
they
know.
said, that's less immature stuff. And then the people that I'm, situation. These aren't young people. I'm in my 30s, and these people have like at least 10 years on me. You know
Wow.
what I mean? So first of all, what would make you think I would want a sh- short, little, stumpy guy? You know what I mean? That you know what I'm saying? That doesn't appear to have done anything in life. That's like 10 years my senior type situation. So I mean, it was very, if I can just like kind of vent, it was very hurtful that I send my man, my homie, my dude, screenshots of how this dude mishandled me, and I'm left on scene. And then I asked you point blank, was this the guy that you was trying to tell me that liked me? I'm like, that's bro code. And it's like, are you that cool with the guy that you would just not say anything? Or
That's
is it
not
just
bro
like an
code.
unspoken?
Yeah, that's not bro code
That's
at
that's
all.
not bro code. That's and no disrespect to your friend, but that's weak man shit.
So
That's weak man shit. And if it sounds like you were left not knowing if that was actually the guy he wanted you to talk to, but you were kind of feeling like it was. That's why you asked. For him to not say anything speaks
Yeah.
volumes. He may be a good person, but that may be somebody that where you may not end the friendship. You may definitely think about the type of communication you have with that person after that. Because
Mm.
for them to just leave you, like you said, leave you out there like that, then that's nothing. And I'll say something else to what you said too. So never in my life, and I'm thinking back because I've lived it kind of long. I don't think there's ever been a time in my
damn
life,
long.
yeah, damn long. I don't think there's ever been a time in my life where I sat down with another dude to try to figure out how I was going to talk to a woman.
Okay.
I, I, I,
Valid.
and I'm being real. I to me, that's some of the weakest shit you can do. Because here's the thing: I'm an individual. I feel that there are certain inalienable traits about me that are
Mm.
appealing to women, and we all have unique things that are appealing about us. And so I'm going on that. And she don't like me, I'm not getting ready to devise a plan to be somebody else so I can try to talk to her. If she can't deal with me for who I am when I meet her, then hey, we ain't right for each other. But I've seen men do that, and I sit back and look. I'm giving them the side. I'm like, what? Man, just go over there and talk to her. You ain't got to sit down. I've had men ask me about women. I believe, man, ask her, man. Don't ask me about no woman.
Yeah, so that's I guess that's what happened. A
Hmm.
lot of, I guess, people like, they ask about people. And then, that's one thing, kind of see like, are they single, whatever. But then to go as far as just like saying how much you really like this person and you want them type situation,
Maybe
you
he was
know.
just scared. Maybe he was just scared. He
Now
needed some
that could
help.
be
Maybe
it.
he
Yeah,
ain't know how to approach you. Maybe he
yeah,
was just scared. He ain't know how to approach you. Because I know there are
I mean,
there are
I get
men
that.
yeah.
that don't know how to talk to women. There are men that are scared. There are men that are scared of rejection. you know,
That
uh,
I'm one
you
of 'em.
know,
I used to
but
be.
I think that, watching somebody who you think is suave get turned down. Like, okay, man, what did you do? What did you say? I don't think that, because you must have said something, right? You must
Yeah.
have
But
said
that's the
something.
thing. He might not have been suave to her. You know, if she like butterscotch and he bringing her chocolate, she might not like chocolate. She like butterscotch. You got to come with butterscotch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how do you figure that out? You don't. You know, they always say that relationships are a roll of the dice. You know, and that's in any, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship. You know, you find somebody that you comfortable talking to, and then over time you figure out how comfortable you are, you know, and how much of a friendship you want to build, whether it's
Yeah,
romantic or not. And so, you know, it's a roll of the dice. That's why I don't really agree with men um, sitting there talking amongst each other. And again, it may sound chauvinistic what I'm about to say. To me, that's women's
uh-oh.
stuff,
Oh,
and I don't mean it in a negative way, but I see women, girl, what is he about? You know, because you know, I
Yeah.
see, because I work with a lot of women, and I see them have those type of conversations. But when they have those conversations, I feel like there's a certain kinship amongst women that they have when they're doing that. I think
More protection,
60,
sort of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Women will look out for each other 60% of the time. You know, men, you know, everybody just out for what they can get. So it doesn't you know, it doesn't necessarily you know, come across the same way.
yeah. I see that. I get that.
Yeah,
I I, I
I
think
can't do that.
he might have just, maybe he ain't have what they call game.
Yeah.
I ain't got no game. So,
I
but I
don't
know
know.
that, maybe he just was scared. Maybe he just was scared.
And I
Well,
mean, Lauren, what do you like? Are you closed off with, let's say you in the lounge, and you know, I know some women that like to go on the lounge, whether they with them just by themselves or not. But when they in there, whether they want to date or not, when they go to the lounge, they don't want to talk to nobody. They just want to sit back and smoke their cigar like everybody else. So, what do you like? Maybe that'll, you know, give you some answers. If you had to sit down and kind of self-define yourself, like, do you feel that you're approachable?
um, like you said, I don't think that the lounge is necessarily a place. A place.
Men,
I mean,
men don't care. Men
sometimes.
don't care.
Well, but that's the thing about, especially this particular lounge. People typically don't come and just try to strike up conversations. Like, you there, and if people are talking, you can jump in a conversation. It's a very warm sort of environment, and people don't typically. So I mean, I've seen people come in there, and one couple, they met there and they're getting married, you know. But is even if you find out that this person didn't talk to that person or whatever, it's not like a big to do. So, but
Right.
I don't think that I look the same age as a lot of the people who are there. So it always tickles me when men that are much older think that I will be interested. So I think if the crowd was younger, maybe I would seem more approachable. But when I'm there, I typically am to myself unless I'm talking to one of the people who works at the lounge, and then there's a female that I became fast friends with. So I'm laughing and talking it up with her, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like, you know what I mean. I'm not like open to just talk to. And then a lot of men don't have anything to say anyway.
That's true.
Not to
That's
me.
true.
Like they're gonna be talking to each other. Now it's been
Yeah.
times that we've been watching basketball and we're all having conversation about MJ, LeBron, and all that type of stuff. But really, I'm talking to this lady about shoes and honestly, like skincare and stuff. But now I wouldn't say I'm approachable like that to
I
those
mean, that
people.
could, yeah, that could have a lot to do with it. But you know, on the other side, there's a lot of men out there they don't care if you're approachable or not. They're gonna
Yeah.
shoot their shot respectfully. And if you know, I think that a real well, any person, man or woman, a real person, if they're gonna shoot their shot, they know if they're not, you know, being received the way they want to be received, and they respectfully move on. I think that's the part that
Some
we
of
talk
them,
about as the gamble.
some of them.
Well, I'm a shoot my shot type of woman myself.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
always tell people if I liked you, you would know I like you and I want you.
Well, all right.
You know. So I mean,
I'm a
I
I'm
never
a
I don't
warrior.
no seriously, but I don't fault anybody for trying to shoot their shot. I definitely don't. You know, because how would you
Hmm.
know if you don't ask?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know, whether they old or young, they say the right thing. You never know what can happen on a given day. I'm not just talking about you, but anybody. But you
Mr.
know,
Charles, Mr. Charles paying that light bill and that phone
Mr.
bill.
Charles pay rent. You know, Mr.
Mr.
Charles.
Charles
You know,
walk
they
up,
always got a Mr.
jangling,
Charles out
jangling
there. They
change in
like,
his pocket, a whole ring of
look at
keys.
guy. You know, if that rent dude, you know, they had that if that rent dude type dude out there that he be in a lot of the lounges
Right.
right here in the D, right
Right.
here in the D. He got a big old he got a big old Cadillac back in the day, you know. He coming in hey. You know, you didn't see them because you here in Dallas, so you didn't see them. They be, you
Yeah.
know, they be in there, you know.
I
You
become
have
super
others,
unapproachable.
yeah. You
Pull
see
my
them
hat
coming,
down.
you know. But I think, you know, the topic you brought up was a really good topic because I think a lot of times um, it's with that whole men are from Mars and women are from Venus things. It's a lot of the same stuff, but we see it different ways. You know, men, I think our egos play a big role in how we approach a lot of those situations. Like me and Ray say, I probably wouldn't, you know, I ain't seen nothing. But women, a lot of times, you ask a woman, you tell me if I'm wrong, you correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of women, if you go, you know, her homegirl ask her if she saw something, she about to tell it. She ain't even gonna delay, girl. Yeah, I saw him. If you didn't ask me, I wasn't gonna tell you, but I saw him. You know, that's you
But
know,
they'll tell on him, but they won't tell on her.
I mean, but
nah.
that's a whole different type of person. You
Yeah,
know, different
yeah, yeah,
strokes for
yeah.
different folks. I think that's why I was asking about it from a morality and character point of view. Because some people, if they have like homeboys, they find out that's how you rolling, you cheating on your wife, you can't come with us no more. Because I don't want to be responsible, not necessarily responsible, but I don't want to know that. You know, and then
Yeah.
you invite me to your baby shower and stuff, and I can't even look at your wife in the face type situation. And honestly, I have a lot of male friends that I'm like, that's my brother type situation. I guess when I make friends, you know, I fall hard and fast sort of situation. So a
Mm-hmm.
platonic relationship with my homeboy, you basically my brother. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Right.
You can tell me anything, and they have told me plethora of things. Um, and so I'm a be on his case type situation. There's a lot of men that are like that too. But
Yeah.
Right.
like I said, it's a different level of morality. That's why I was so concerned about
We lost her.
I think so.
Phone might have died or something. She got an Android like you, so there's no telling.
Well, we know it didn't die, unless she's been using it for 2 days straight. She'd have
There
to
ain't no
come back.
telling. Oh,
Oh,
there
there
she
you
go.
go.
Hey, Lauren, you got an Android, don't you?
am I back on?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Am I back on?
Yep.
I can't hear y'all.
You can't hear us?
Oh man, how you fix the sound
Uh,
Let's see.
put it in the comments, Ray. Go out and come back in.
audio? Oh man,
Yeah, she exit out and come back in. And
Hmm.
yeah, that she posed a really
Iron
good
lungs.
topic, man.
Iron lungs. No, that's definitely iPhone energy right there.
No,
So
that's no, no,
that's
no, no.
definitely iPhone energy right there. What up,
Yeah,
Bart? That's definitely iPhone energy right there.
Man, she brought up a really interesting topic.
Let's see. You
Can
got
you
a you
hear us,
got an
Lauren?
Android or an iPhone?
I got an
Android?
iPhone. Somebody called me.
Told you.
Yeah.
Somebody called me. I
You.
got a call.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Can I call him or can I call him? Chevalier was saying
What
you had a
happens when you get a call?
Chevalier.
I
Chevalier was
told you had
saying
an
that
Android. I
you
could
had
have
an
sworn the
Android.
last time we all talked about that you had an Android, but I guess I'm sadly mistaken.
No,
I
what
should have
happens when
said
you get a call, Mr. Android?
Who,
that's
me?
Ray.
Yeah.
He
What
don't
Nothing.
happens when
nobody
you get a
call him.
call?
I'm on a
Don't nobody
computer.
call him. Don't nobody call him.
The
Yeah.
only people that call me is Chevalier and my mama. So other than that, don't nobody call me.
Yeah, I got a
That's
rare phone
probably
call.
true. That's probably true. My phone did ring 4 times since we've been out here. I had to flip over there and put it on Do Not Disturb real quick.
Don't nobody call me at all. But anyway, back to the task at hand. Yeah, man, I
Shoot,
think that what?
it's time for you to run a commercial.
Oh,
We gotta take a break. We're gonna run a commercial and come right back.
let's take a break. Oh, look at that. I ain't been in one of these in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Eric Shaw.
A little bit, and now is maestro, the master of an art. And they're energetic and they're ready to get it, bro. Yeah. They ready to get it. And so I had to come back.
Come back.
That store opened, and it became such a.
All right.
I gotta sit down and watch that interview tonight. I still haven't watched it yet today.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Yeah. I called him
you?
though. I called him. I was like, say man, I saw
He
some
ain't
of your
watched it
interview.
neither.
I know. He's like, yeah, I hadn't seen it either. I said, you don't even remember it, dude. He's like, man, you always playing, man. You always play. I'm gonna call you back. I said, oh yeah, you gotta hurt your feelings. But yeah, man. You know, that's a real interesting topic we got, man. I think you know, you brought up the whole morality, you know, thing, and you know, it's always been a question for me, like where are we as it relates to morality, especially even with a subject like this, you know, people's moral code sometimes seem to kind of go out the door when it comes to this kind of thing. I think that's why people don't want their morality in question. They be like, don't put me in that situation because I don't want to have to make a snap decision that I know I'm gonna regret either way. There's no way for the person that gets asked that question to win. Like, you know, you may be the good guy to the person that's asking you what's up, but now you done lost the friendship if you tell the truth, you know. Sometimes it's best to just stay out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to relationships,
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is more so just men and women in general as it relates to bro code, which really is superiority over women. It's like, because it's like an underlying
Mm-hmm.
foundation or principle that, hey, if you got an opportunity to just say, like, to knock her down or to knock her off her high horse, if you got this opportunity to conquer this female, it's my responsibility to help you. Not relationships. It's like if you got an opportunity to overpower a woman or to exert power over a woman, even if it's just to, I don't know, do something, maybe humiliate her or something, just those different little chambers. It's like this bro code is like, yeah, because we're going to stick together and make sure that we exude our power over these women.
Bro,
Like
guy
misogyny,
code isn't
basically.
it's that's not
Yeah.
what it is. You know,
No,
it's not
I've
a
never heard men sit down and say
we're
something like that.
trying to
Like,
be.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how
So
I'm
if I
defining it because that's how it turns out. That's how it
well,
turns out.
well, not necessarily because it's really it's kind of like feminism, but not as strong as feminism for men. You know, like I'm not gonna mess over my brother, but like I said, if I see him doing something, I'm gonna deal with it.
Deal with him. Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with it with him. But if there are a group of men who are out there and their goal is to just overpower women like that, I mean,
Dominate.
aside, yeah, dominate women, then that's not man code because what it is holding each other accountable and making sure that and respecting your brother. But that's basically what it all boils down to. So it's not a, a way to dominate women, right? Um, and if it's well, I talked to her and I see you struck out. You mind if I go and holler at her? That's not dominating the woman. That's I don't want us to fight because you struck out and I want to go holler at her,
Totally understandable. Yeah,
But
that's
also
something different.
if we grown, so what? You struck out. That's your fault.
But Ray, I don't. So I like I said earlier, I don't agree with that. I don't think no man should ask another man about a woman. If you want to go holler at, I mean, if you ask her something in general, what kind of person is she? I know you know her. You don't have to necessarily tell them why. I know you know her. I don't think there's anything wrong with that on either side. But I don't think a lot of times when men do that, I think they do that because they know that this guy, there's been some intimacy or something close. I don't think you should do that. I just think it's a sign of a weak man to do that. What's up, Sarah?
What's happening,
Iron Lungs, what's
Sarah?
up?
Iron lungs. What's happening?
What's the word?
So, um, yeah. So I don't. Well, um,
Well, let me ask y'all this question.
Okay.
If somebody was your friend and they knew you were friends with this female and they asked you, general questions like, what is she like? She's single, blah, blah, blah. And they just start telling you how much they just think she's just so beautiful or she's just it for them. Like they really like her. So say you say, well, okay, go ahead and talk to her. She's single. She's a pretty cool person. And you friends with the female. What
Mm-hmm.
if the dude dogs the female?
I'm
Like, what
gonna
if
deal
he
with
I'm
just
him.
I'm gonna have a problem with that.
I'm gonna deal with him, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
have a
have a
problem
problem,
with
but
that.
I've been in that situation in the last year with a couple of my coworkers, and when the guy asked me about him, I always say the same thing, man. Just holler, don't ask me. But hey, man, that's my homegirl. So I'm telling you now, she ain't really with the BS. So don't do all of that because your homeboys. I think that's
mm,
the time when you have to be accountable to you hold your
right,
partners accountable going in, so you don't have to have a conversation later on the way out. Hey, man, if you're gonna deal with it, that's my friend. So don't do no bullshit. Because if you do, me and you gonna have a conversation. Because that's my
Right,
homegirl. So if she know you my friend, eventually after you talk to her, she gonna come back to me. I'm probably not gonna, because people do what they do. I'm probably not gonna tell her certain things about you, but don't don't do that shit. Don't do. I'm gonna warn them, because if it come out, I'm gonna end up having to explain it or deal with it. We're gonna have a problem.
right.
right. And so
That's
then
like
what
I said.
about me? And then that's the part two. What about
Uh
your
huh.
homegirl? What if she
I
asks
mean,
you, like,
if
what
she
were you
asked me,
thinking? Or did
I
you
would.
know he was like this? Or say for me, like what I did, I sent screenshots. Like, this man said this. I got a wow emoji.
Yeah, you know that's a sign of
Maybe
immaturity all the way. That's I mean, really, that's a sign. I don't know how old this dude is, but hey, you know they got 50-year-old men that act like that. So it just depends on the person, you
I
know.
was about to say,
But
yo, I don't think age
yeah,
got anything to do with
yeah,
it.
it ain't got nothing to do with it.
yeah,
It's
age
immaturity
ain't
because
got nothing to do with it.
I know some men older than me that's silly as hell. You
There's
know,
nobody older than you. But
there's
Damn.
one or two.
Stop.
I think in that situation, you know, if that's my homegirl and that happens, he's going to be his. You know, I'm gonna deal with him. And if she
Yeah,
comes and asks me, did you know that he was going to the Dominican Republic and paying $45 to get a little, get a little something strange.
Oh God.
We ain't
You
going
know,
that far. I'm talking
I
like
mean,
he just
I'm just, I don't, yeah, I don't know the situation, so I'm just saying. Um, I I don't know him, so I wouldn't tell you I knew he do stuff like that, but I'd be like, he been on some bullshit for quite some time. He been on some bullshit for a while. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, he go to Thailand and he
buy
go to
jewelry.
Thailand and get 3, 4 at a time. I'm not,
but the reason why you don't want to do that too is because you know you may be the one person that changes him from that. You know he may, you know you never know what a person's intention is. But I just think it's incumbent upon us as men,
Yeah.
and we want to hold other men accountable in a situation like that. To answer your question, I would tell my partner, hey man, you know you be on some bullshit. So look, she ain't really like that. So if you're gonna get this one, you know, she a good chick.
and
So
then if he
just
still do it, I'll deal with him
yeah,
accordingly.
then yeah. But you
But
know,
but
the
also,
thing about telling
I
all the
wouldn't want
secrets,
to
if he trying to
lose.
do something different, then we just kill him before he even get a chance to do something different, you know?
But I wouldn't want to lose your friendship
Right.
by saying,
Yeah.
he
That's the thing too. Do you
he
what if
did he did that. Now,
And
if
shouldn't the
that's
real
my
question
partner
be,
and
why
you
is he
come
your
to
friend
me,
in the first place?
that one I was about to. Well, we getting to that point,
Okay, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. My bad.
but
But the real
but
question is, why is that your friend? If
I
this is a
mean,
person who's known for doing these things, why is that your friend?
But
cause we could be
you can
cool.
be friends with somebody,
Is that
but just
fair
because
though?
go out of town and buy coochie, that don't make them a bad friend. They just make them a freak. I mean, you
Come on,
know,
come on,
Hold on.
Iron
But does
Lungs.
but no 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 no. I want you to rethink that statement because that's problematic within
rethink it?
itself,
I mean,
right?
you know
Because
what? We got 2 minutes to the vibe, but
keep
run
in
it down
mind
real quick. Go
keep
ahead.
in mind that most of the what he's buying is human trafficking.
I mean,
So
that's
so
a whole nother thing.
That's a
ho-
whole nother
no no
topic.
no no no. It
We
still
not.
goes down to the character of the person. If this person is doing certain things, why would you consider that person a friend if you know that that's what they're about?
I
They
mean,
heard
you know,
they heard he
uh
did it. You didn't see him.
I ain't
I
never
didn't
seen
see
him.
him do
I ain't,
it.
I ain't
I
never
ain't never
seen
seen
him.
it, man. I just
All
heard he
he
did.
told me stories about going to Thailand. I don't know. Well, that was me. I was exaggerating, Sarah. That's not the
Oh, okay,
situation.
because I'm coming in on the tail end and I'm like,
Right.
wait,
I
pause,
was
hold
I
on,
was
because
exaggerating.
should
But
you not be a
Yeah.
better judge of character
all I
for
was
your
saying
friend?
was,
Because you shouldn't
like,
have friends that you have to make apologies for anyway.
if
Shit.
if she's my friend and he's my friend and he asked me about her, right? I'm gonna tell him go talk to her. But if he does something crazy, I'm gonna deal with him. If she's my friend and he's my friend and she asked me about him, most likely I'm gonna say, I mean, probably you don't want that. You don't want him.
Well,
Or you
yeah,
need to
you
be
being
careful. You need to be careful about
You don't want him,
him
or be
because
careful
there's
with him.
certain things that,
Well,
you
I'm not.
know,
I'm not going. I'm not even going that far. I'm gonna just say
I will go there.
you don't.
I will
You
go
don't
there.
want him.
I
What you
ain't
got,
never
Iron
had to
Lungs?
worry about this in my life.
I don't know, man. I don't know where I should even jump in. But Let me piggyback off of what you two just said in respect to the overall topic, right? Which is the bro code. In the situations that the young lady described, my responses has been the same because I've dealt with it many of times throughout my life. There's been a male that's interested in somebody I know. There's been a female, even family at times, that wants to holler at one of my partners. My response to it is always on both sides. First and foremost, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If you go that far, keep me out of it.
That part.
Yeah. I want no responsibility of knowing anything. So if it go bad, it went bad, leave me out of it. But don't put me in the middle in the respect of, well, did you know or did you see? That's not my place for either one of you, especially because there's relationships involved, right? Whether it's family, whether it's male to female friend, male to male friend, that's not responsibility. You were both grown adults that made a choice to entertain one another, and it didn't work out for your favor. Cool. But don't put the responsibility on me to be either the governing body or the moral compass between you two if something goes wrong.
Big facts.
Right. I agree.
So that's my take on it, right? But I think just leaning more on the bro code from a man's perspective, even if to the other young lady that asked the question most recently, let's say that he is the type of individual that steps out on his wife. That's his business. That ain't what I do. That's what he does. So again, we may be friends. I might have known him for 30, 40 years. Don't mean that I'm going to think of him any less or any more. That's just who you are. I'm aware of that. So I deal with you accordingly. But in the aspect of you get caught up, I have the same feeling. Don't use me as a scapegoat. Don't put me in a position. And I've had to do that once before with a married couple that I knew same amount of time, but I would say my loyalty lies with him more so than her, but I know the entire family, so I look at them the same. You understand?
Right.
Now, did I give him up? Absolutely not. Did I have conversations with him man to man, brother to brother? Absolutely. Right? But you still got to work that out. I'm going to hold you down. If you need a place to stay, you can lay on my couch for a certain period of time, but you need to go back home to your wife.
That was my question. Does accountability exist in this equation?
Oh, no.
And we touched on that early going in. Okay. Yeah.
Right. But I'm giving another example from a male's perspective of what bro code is, right? It may not be me ratting him out to whoever the significant other is, girlfriend, wife, whatever it is. But me and you going to have a conversation, especially if you've gotten me involved to where you using my name as, your excuse to get out, whatever have you. Now I get in the crossfire. It's like, hey, was he with you such and such night? I don't even know how. I'm at an age to where I'm not even answering that. What he told you.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Right. Let's just nip that in the bud. Whatever he told you is what it is. No, but you, my brother, I am. And that's more the reason why I'm saying, have that conversation with your man, not with me.
Yeah, because it's really, that's a G code violation in itself, no matter what the situation is, if there's something like that, stay out of that. Mind your business. Mind your business.
So that's more of a bro code than it is me keeping you away from somebody, right? Because it's a good chance that even if I tell you that he does all of these things that I don't perceive to be of your liking, and then you still take a stab at, starting some type of relationship with him, then what was the point of you asking me?
Very true.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I hold everybody accountable, the male and the female. We're adults. You made that choice, stand on it. I'm cool.
Right.
I'm rolling with y'all if y'all together. I'm rolling with you if you're not. Just don't put me in the middle.
Exactly.
I agree.
Fair.
Well, we're going to hit this vibe and then we'll be back on this topic. This is a good one.
All right, everybody. This is the vibe. This is the time in
Thought
the
you were gonna
show
play Usher
where we
Confessions.
you like. No,
Yeah, I
I
was out of here
almost
if you'd
did.
have
I
did that.
decided to do something different. This that time
I
when
was
we
gone.
listen to a little smooth groove, relight our cigars, we pour our drinks, get our thoughts together for a couple seconds, and chill. The track I'm
Good.
playing right now is by Big Mike Hart. The name of the track is
God,
Penthouse
I
Suite.
was
It was my cigar track of the day yesterday, and
out.
it's a cool jam. So sit back, relax, enjoy the vibe, and then we'll get back to it in a minute.
What up, Mark?
What up? What up? Evening,
And,
everybody.
and
Lady
your
Steph, how you doing?
What's that?
What's going
your
on?
light not working too well in there today.
Nah, I'm dark today.
You look like a character. You like a character need to be unlocked from Mortal Kombat.
Ray, you interviewed my god brother yesterday.
I did what?
You interviewed my god brother.
I showed. Well, that was. I interviewed him last year. I just released it yesterday.
Just
Okay, either way,
stop hating on my me not right now. I'm in the dark.
I don't care nothing about you being in the dark over there.
I just didn't turn it on today.
Mark, I'm not gonna crack on you today, man. It's all love. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm
know
good.
the topic was bro code. I don't think
Right on.
You don't think what?
I'm supposed to be here for this one.
Why
Nah,
not?
Yeah,
nah.
you are.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you.
are.
So
Yes, you are.
Lauren actually brought the topic up today. We didn't have a topic, and she reached
What
out
is
and
it?
brought the topic up, and I thought it was a great question from a woman's point of view. Kind of putting us on the spot to really talk about it because it's something
Right.
that needs to be talked about.
Y'all need to talk about it. I don't need to be here.
Oh no, yes you do. Well, the next topic that we finna get into, actually, Iron Lungs brought it to us, so we're gonna get into that after the vibe.
Okay.
And that was the vibe, man. The track was Penthouse Suite by Big Mike Hart. Downloaded on all your platforms. Uh, I had him on the show about 6 months ago. He debuted his first single release, Cigar Lounge, and he had Boney James playing the saxophone on the track for him. Amazing brother. Came to meet him through Mimi Von
Oh,
Swag.
I
They
definitely
grew up
need you there.
together. And so definitely, man, get that track, man. This has been the vibe with Chevalier. Let's get back to it.
So our next topic, Iron Lungs actually put it in the comments earlier. You want to know, can we touch on the shift in lounges since the female emergence in the culture and the energy that has been introduced?
I think that's a great topic.
Because
And
right before he said that, he said this.
ooh,
I also have a problem that the lounge atmosphere has been changed to the spot to link up or the club, and may not agree yet. Many may not agree yet. I've been around long enough to see how and why that has changed.
man. So I'm gonna hit that first. Iron Lungs, I completely agree. You know I do. I
We've
think
talked
that
about it several times.
yeah, we have. And look, man, the lounge is supposed to be a place where everybody is welcome. So when certain antics come into the lounge, it turns it into something that I don't think it was meant to be. It's supposed to be a place where you come enjoy a cigar, have a great conversation. I don't think there's anything wrong with meeting somebody that you're interested in, but coming in there and seeing the alphas and the kappas doing line dances and they got that, I'm out on that. I'm out on that. I think if you're having a cigar event and that is your intention, I think that's cool. I think that if you're at a nightclub and they allow cigars on the patio, even in the building, that's cool. But a cigar lounge, that's not what that's for. And I'll tell you something, it has made the culture, it has divided the culture in a sense. And a lot of times it just depends on what segment of people that are doing it. So, when you have a lot of black people that are doing shit like that, and Ray call them the uncles that's coming in there, they slapping phones on the table, they coming in with coolers because it's BYOB, but then they'll buy 2 sticks and then they got a whole bag of sticks that they handing out for all of their friends. You're not supporting the lounge. A lounge only, unless you got a bar, a lounge only makes money selling cigars. That's it. They're selling cigars, they're selling an experience. So having 22-year-olds walking through there, get dropped off by the Uber, walking through like it's a nightclub and all of that. I think that's bullshit because it kills the lounge. And I'll tell you something. There's very few lounges that survive that because people walk in, they buy two cigars, and they'll buy a cigar, and then that's it. And then they sit in there and hold up tables for hours while they having a party. When I open my lounge, I'm not having that. I'm not
Man,
having that.
I'll tell you this, man. There's if that's the purpose of your lounge, okay. Because some lounges are clubs.
Yeah,
There's a lounge out here where we went to for my party that is basically a club with cigars.
Mm-hmm.
but they
Now,
offer
the
drinks, they
DJ,
offer
the DJ
food.
plays. That's what I say. It's a club
It's club, yeah.
with cigars in it. Now the DJ gonna play. He not playing no sexy red in there.
Yes, he
Nah,
will.
he jamming though. He was jamming in there when we
He
was
Yes,
there.
did.
let's not act like Sexy Red don't get played there. It'll get played there.
I'm sure it will. But every time I've been there, that hasn't been the vibe. However, there are some, not to call names, but there are. I can think of one, two, three others that is definitely the owner will put the music on. He'll let his Pandora or Spotify run, and next thing you know, everybody up. All they're doing is dancing. There's a lounge I used to go to on Fridays. I go in the daytime, and then I know when it's time to go because the coolers and the Heinekens come out, and the gallons of Jack Daniels start coming out, and everybody walking in there fresh from the barbecue spot, smelling like charcoal and outside, and they just get loud and start slapping dominoes. And I'm like, it's time to go. That's not
Bruh.
the vibe
They ain't
I
buying
want.
no cigars.
Let me say this real quick.
Exactly. I watched one dude when I was in there. He came in with his cooler, sat it down, opened up his chair, sat down in his chair, went in his cooler, grabbed his gallon of Jack Daniels, grabbed his cups, started pouring up cups for all the people that was in the little area where he was sitting at, and he pulled one cigar out of his little bag. He smoked the one cigar. I never saw him go buy another one.
Right.
Can I touch on something real quick before I get up off here?
Yes, ma'am.
Because what the initial question was, women in this shift in the atmosphere in cigar lounges, right?
Yeah, we was getting there. Sorry.
We was
It's
getting there.
it's okay.
I had to talk about them uncles. They get on my nerves. But go ahead.
I listen, and I already know exactly which lounge you're talking about because I'm the minute I see the cooler, it's time for me to go. Because nigga, why you smelling like brisket so tough? Um, but the one thing with the presence of ladies in the cigar lounge is that there are multiple types of ladies that frequent cigar lounges, right? You have those of us who actually enjoy cigars, right? And actually have proper cigar lounge etiquette. Then you got some seekers, right? But who do I blame for the seekers being there? The niggas that's already there. Why? Because you invited them there. You didn't tell them what they were coming here for. You didn't tell them what to expect. They came here just to show you some ass and titties and for you to smile at them real sweet while y'all smoke on a cigar and she asked you if she could taste yours. Let's be real. That's y'all's fault. That is y'all's fault. But you have some of us women who were introduced to cigars and introduced to the lounge lifestyle and can come in and govern ourselves accordingly, right? But those women also spend sometimes a lot more money than some of these men do in cigar
Most of
lounge.
the times.
I know
Most
that
of the time, that's true.
I spend good money. I support the big labels, I support the small labels, I support it all. You gonna get some money off of me at the bar and off the humidor. Straight up and down, you gonna get my coin. I could spend more money than these old heads do sometimes. And I'm okay with
And you do most of the time that's the way
most
it goes.
do. And I'm
But
sucking the air for less. Why? Because I got other things to do. Why? Because at the lounge, I'm coming here for a lounge thing. In a second, I'm gonna move around and go to where I really want to be. Right now, the funny thing is for me, and I can say this because y'all know I'm a part of the Rainbow Committee. So I get to sit back and watch a lot of the flirtation that happens among the men and some of the women. Do you actually like that because you all have allowed it? You entertain it and you do it and you do it well, right? Like and it is what it is. You want to
Yeah,
wonder why the lounge is the way it is? Because somebody has allowed it to become that. Point
That's
blank.
true. That's true.
I second that because you walk in the Sweet Lips, and if you wearing a t-shirt and jeans, you might feel underdressed.
As you should.
If you go around the corner down in Missouri City, you walk in there in some flip flops, some cargo
You're right.
shorts, and a t-shirt, you
But
right at home.
that's the atmosphere that was created.
Exactly. I think that when the atmosphere is created, when it's allowed to happen, it's gonna happen. That's anywhere. That's anywhere. When it's allowed to happen, it's gonna happen. Like the that restaurant in Atlanta where he told them stop dancing on my furniture.
Yeah.
That was
He
up
ain't
here.
allow it. That was in
That was
Dallas.
here. That was
Okay.
here. Yeah.
He told them stop dancing on my furniture because he didn't want to allow it. And the response
And you
was,
know,
well, you shouldn't play that type of music. Well, I can play whatever I want. You need to be able to govern yourself accordingly. People
right.
are eating. Get off the furniture. You know
And but
how
some of
if he
that,
had allowed that to happen, then that place would become the place where you go, get loud, and dance on the furniture.
I think that etiquette, and I see Kaiser put something about it, about missing the days of etiquette. I think that's a big thing. And I think I agree one thing with what you just said, Ray. I think it's up to the individual lounge owner. So if you come here to Dallas, and I call out names. So if you come here to Dallas and you go to El Jefe Cigar Lounge over in East Dallas on Carroll, you can come in there. He got a 2 cigar minimum. You come in there, you can bring your cooler and everything. I do it all the time, but I go in there as soon as I walk in the door, I go buy 2 cigars. And if I got
At
somebody
least.
with me, I at least. And if I have somebody with me, I make sure I tell them the rules of it going in. Hey, I know you coming with me. You don't necessarily smoke, but buy 2 cigars for the house. You
Can I
know
if
that's
that's a black owned lounge or a white owned lounge or
it's a black owned lounge. And
okay.
let me tell you something. He does not allow, and Ray, you've been there. He does not allow the shenanigans. He don't allow it. He don't allow the shenanigans. And if you come in there with that, it's not if he gonna ask you. It's just when, and it's gonna be within about the first 15 minutes of you be there. If you pull out a bag with cigars in it, he's gonna let you know that you need to buy some cigars. Now you can smoke yours, but you need to buy some. And for me, anybody that has a problem with that,
Okay,
they
hold
need to get out.
This ain't the
They need
place
to
for
get
this
out.
ain't the place for
It's
you.
not the place for you. And
And some of those
that's up to
lounges,
the.
man. No, go
Mhm.
ahead.
And Sarah, you hit a very key point that I think we probably all agree with. It's up to the lounge owner what they wanna allow. If you start out when you open your lounge not allowing certain things, you're gonna get the clientele that wants that atmosphere to come in where a woman like Lauren can walk in the lounge and feel comfortable because she ain't got to worry about certain stuff, or a man
Mr.
like
Charlie.
Iron Lungs. He gonna go in there. And one of the biggest reasons that, and I'm gonna say it, black lounges struggle probably more than anybody. The black people go into a lot of lounges. So one of the things, the adage here in Dallas, they always say they'll go up to Industrial, the white on lounge in
Yeah.
Frisco, right, and buy boxes of cigars because everybody wants to look like they got it. But then they'll go right down here to Blow and Smoke or one of the black owned lounges and nitpick them because they price is $2 higher on the stick. But if you support your lounge can get to the point where their buying power is greater and they can get better prices on stick. But support the lounge. Don't be one way in another lounge, just because it's white on. Because a lot of us won't go up in the white on lounges and go to slap dominoes. We go up there, we're gonna sit there, cross our legs like we got some sense and have some intelligent conversation and enjoy the vibe in the lounge. But when we go to the black lounge, it's like the first thing, and I'm saying we as a people, because I like to hold us accountable.
Who's
We're
we?
gonna grab we as a people, black people, because I don't do that.
Baby, I don't count. I'm Jap Italian.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're gonna
But
we're gonna take a break on that note.
yeah.
She gonna drop Japatalian and leave.
And she left. Yeah, she left. You know, you know how Sarah do.
Crazy.
But man, I mean, we need to support our own lounges the same way we support others, because all of that plays into it. And when the owner tells you you can't act a certain kind of way, don't go out there and bad mouth them. You know you
Hold
ain't
on.
gonna act that way nowhere else.
Hold on. I got to stop you.
Uh-oh.
Look at this.
You know what?
He got his headset
I
on too.
almost,
He ain't even an 18 wheeler. He got a headset on. He ain't even an 18 wheeler.
I'm on my tricycle. Look, I
Grady
feel
been riding
so.
that tricycle all over the United States and
That
ain't
is not a
saying nothing to
tricycle.
now
That
one
is
of
a
us ain't
70.
hollered
That
at
is a
us in
74
2 months worth
Chrysler
of
Cordova.
Sundays. Two
That
months
is a
worth of
seven.
Sundays ain't hollered at us. He won't come in here like he been here.
He
What's
called me
happening,
not too
man?
long ago. What's up, Grady?
You know, I miss y'all too. I do. I miss y'all too. I'm glad that y'all still welcome me in the room.
Yeah, of course.
All is well. All is well. Just out here trying to grind it, trying to get a little bit, get to y'all
That's
Pimping
good.
level.
that water.
Don't be put your hands on the wheel. We
He
don't
out
want
there
to see
pimping that
put your
water,
hands on
Ray.
the wheel, sir.
Look, ma,
Yeah.
no hands.
That ain't no 18 wheeler, man. Look, first of all, I question why you got a headset on. You ain't in no 18 wheeler.
Well, it's a no hands, no can't hold your phone lost type shit.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
and I ain't
okay.
that talented either. So
Whatever, man.
I can't.
So
Anyway,
you heard the topic we on, man. What's your thoughts?
No, what is the topic?
Go ahead, Ray.
so right now we're talking about the change in cigar lounges with the emergence of women smokers going into the cigar lounges. Let me put it there. Let me say all of that.
The change?
With the change in the feel in some cigar lounges and the energy in some cigar lounges. Iron Lungs made a comment earlier about how it's become um, a place to link up or to meet somebody, or like the club now,
Mm.
as opposed to a place where you can go and sit down and enjoy a cigar and a conversation.
I think it is quite frankly less to do with more women showing up and the level of maturity of men that are in the lounge, quite frankly. Or let me rephrase that. The level of maturity of the individuals going in to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
The the whole idea of cigar lounges, from my understanding, is a place to go and conversate and have healthy conversation, a place to relax. Is not built for that per se, but at the same time, as there's less and less maturity in the world on both sides of the spectrum, when you finally get into a space where you can have a clear adult conversation with someone of the opposite sex, then yeah, that's gonna tend to involve. I think the biggest piece of what I came in on was Valle saying how, you know, depending on the atmosphere of the lounge, you know, you got drinking, dominoes, cursing, and then on the other side you have a nice, calm, cool, relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah,
So, what is it that management or ownership, what are they promoting? What standards are they looking to uphold?
exactly.
So I think with that whole idea of it becoming a place to link up is inevitable. I mean, whenever you have, the opposite sexes in the same spaces, it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
If you all remember being old enough, Operation Tailhook in the Navy, we got men and women on
I'm not old enough.
ships.
I'm not old enough.
Yeah, I remember it. And what
When
happened?
you got men and women in the same space, it's bound to happen. I mean, the stories that I've heard from co-ed ships, how you have at sea marriages and nothing ever changes because you got the girls who like basketball players, you like the ones who like the baseball players, you got the ones that are uh, motorheads, like guys in cars. Everybody fits
Mhm.
everybody, and you have a whole community of people there. So it's bound to happen. You have single men and single women find a common bond,
Yeah,
then there you have it. So I think it's more so the maturity and the atmosphere that's being promoted that would get you at the end of the day what you get out of it.
So can I
right.
ask
So
this question
Come on.
in
Yes.
respect of the overall question, but more so your statements? Prior to the emergence that I so eloquently worded, um, yeah, there were lounges to where men and women did sit down and have conversations and partook in a cigar, right?
Hmm.
Do you feel that the atmosphere then is the same atmosphere now?
No.
Not at all.
No, no.
No. No.
So that takes me back to the overall question. Since the emergence, and now there's more women that come into the lounge, and I'm not saying all of them. We all know, we're all old enough to know individuals move just like that. So you have a group that come in and carry themselves the way that they're supposed to, then you have the other groups that don't. But you come in, now you're wearing heavy perfume. You're wearing lipstick when you're going to be smoking cigars for multiple hours, which doesn't make any sense at all. You're looking to have a party and or dance. The conversations change. The level and noise of conversation changes. Um, and then you do also have that energy that some bring to where they're actually looking to meet somebody, right? Or they come out with their
Hmm.
girlfriends to have a good time in hopes to meet someone. Now, the
Hmm.
lounge is still the lounge, but the atmosphere is now changed.
well,
And a
that
lot of
again,
lounges, black ones especially, like Chev mentioned earlier, they have not only in many ways embraced this addition to the culture, but a lot of them, because of the shift, can't even survive without it anymore. Because you'll have us as people that'll nickel and dime them and not support the house, and or complain about the pricing on the cigars when people don't understand the business of it. And then they'll go to the traditional lounge and either um, conform to what has always been, and those lounges survive just fine, but the black ones won't anymore because they don't have a grasp on their clientele, meaning us, because we're now not adhering to the things that they want to have happen. Because there's a level of expectation of us that when we go into a lounge, you need to have a DJ. There needs to be an event every single night. If the fellas are coming out to smoke, they expect to see women there that they can, try to.
I mean, your point is valid. I think the biggest part about it is just your management and the way you market it. If you're marketing it as an upscale, for lack of a better term, upscale, elegant quality space, then you're going to get exactly what you are marketing to. I mean, best example again is the fact that I sell water and I sell water, at a premium cost, and I can't waiver that. Now, if I waiver it, I think I can have a great deal more sales and have the water in a few more places, but it cheapens my brand. I mean,
Hmm.
I believe we can attest to we produce a quality product. We have to ask for a premium price, and if we don't, we fail. We're gonna fail either way. Because if we start out with a premium product, which is costing us premium money, and I'm not charging you premium cost, or I give you the homeboy deal, that spread like wildfire, and then I'm already set up for failure. And then the
I,
opposite is true, right? If we try to overprice things, trying to pay the mortgage on one thing, then of course we're going to suffer. You have to find that middle ground and set a standard. So, granted, that fact that a lot of us want music or some type of entertainment when we go there, rather than just a quality ambiance, we have to set the standard and keep it. We can't give
mhm.
in to the traditional Saturday night turn up, come smoke and kick it. No, we can have a live band. It can be jazz, something elegant, something smooth
Well, I think
that
that
adheres to the principle of what we're shooting for.
that like we said, it boils down to what the management allows, right?
Hmm.
Right.
If the
No,
management
I definitely
allows
totally agree. Sorry, I got cut out.
the
I got a
turn up,
phone call that I had
no,
to
no, no,
drop.
no, you
But
good.
I
If
Yeah.
the
agree with you,
management
and I'm
allows the
agreeing with
turn up
you,
on Saturdays,
taking
then
in consideration all aspects and elements that once were, that are now, and the things that should be. So, being a part of lounges, I've seen it all, and you definitely present a lot of valid points. Um, just from my perception of it over the years, I definitely feel that change. And I've identified what the change is,
Hmm.
because of that level of expectation now in the culture. And a lot of people that have been immersed in it over the last, let's say, 12 years, but it's more like 15, um, were introduced to the culture in that way. So they don't know what it was before. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't have
Yeah.
the understanding of the proper etiquette and or the level of network that then creates the atmosphere of the lounge with the people that come to it versus, oh, this is a club, this is a turn up spot. All right, this is what I expect now. And it's kind of just carried over throughout the years.
yeah. Well, like
Can I?
there are some lounges that do that.
Can I
Like
touch
I
on?
like Chevalier was saying that El Jefe, you bet not
I'm
stand on
done.
that furniture because I know what he keep behind him. So when he keep
He stay
you
strapped
stand on
up.
that man furniture, you
If you
you
stand on
might
his
have a couple
furniture,
of buddies coming at you,
you
coming
know
at your chest.
you leaving right then. And speak, and Ray, you remember, and I see
Chef,
Kia
I
in the
can't hear you.
comments. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. The
I can't hear you. Does anybody hear him?
Yeah, we can. Can
Yeah,
you hear? Can you hear us?
y'all, yeah. Can you hear all the everybody else?
Am I the only one that can't hear?
Yeah, you might have
Yeah.
to go out and come back.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
Okay. What you were
So,
saying, Mark? Come on, Mark.
all
oh,
right.
go ahead, Mark.
On the subject of has the atmosphere changed? All right. I worked in clubs most of my adult life, and I know the atmosphere of a club. And when I first started going to cigar lounges, that definitely was not the vibe. And I mean, I've gone to lounges where one lounge I went used to go to, it was owned by a female, and it wasn't. And females came there, and they
Women,
acted accordingly.
women.
Women, I said females.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, it's a female thing. Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Then I've been to lounges where now you see the difference. Like if you're going to a lounge to smoke, and trust me when I get when females say they want to go, and they want to, I'm not saying doll yourself up, but you want to look presentable. And as y'all also said earlier, it's what the owners allow to go on. Like to me, there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with playing dominoes, spades, what have you. But there's also a level of etiquette where you can play dominoes and cards and whatever and not really act a fool of yourself.
I ain't never seen somebody play dominoes and not act a fool. I ain't never seen nobody play spades and not act a fool. Let me tell you one thing, Mark. I don't know who you be hanging around, but every time I see folk play dominoes, somebody finna be a bitch ass nigga.
Oh, okay. Oh,
37 times, somebody gonna have that one. They're gonna have. All
I,
you gonna hear is
right, I know. I know what you're talking
cards gonna be flipping across the table. People gonna be screaming
about.
every time. I tell you what, sir.
Yeah,
If any lounge I'm at, if the dominoes come out, I'm gone.
Domino's.
No, I get it.
Hold on,
Once
let me.
the
I get that.
dominoes come out, it can be nice and quiet in there. If
But
I see a dude, if a dude say, "Y'all want to play some bones?" Pack all my shit up. I'm getting up out of here
Bone
because
shouldn't change the atmosphere. You
you
can
know
play
what come with bones? A gallon of Jack Daniels.
not necessarily. And I
Casamigos. It's
A
Casamigos now.
gallon.
Whatever it's a gallon of whatever they got, and they
listen.
gonna pour it up,
I'm
and
no
they gonna get all the way.
all night
They gonna
long.
get full of it, and they gonna be loud. And I'm not trying. I'm not. I don't go to no lounge for that.
It don't
I
necessarily.
mean, at the end of the day, the idea of any lounge or any business is to be successful, right? And so,
Absolutely.
I'm not. I agree that there are places for every. There's a time and place for everything. And if you have a lounge and you market it that way, then you're rolling the dice on whether you're going to be successful. Just about every lounge. There are several lounges here that's all they do, and they are relatively successful. But those are places just for that. They have other things that drive money, like liquor sales and things like that. They do other things. But I think when you have just a regular lounge, say like El Jefe, and I'll use him again. When Kia and I threw the Cigar Symphony there almost 2 years ago, Ray, you came, Mimi came from California. We had a lot of people. We only wanted 100 people. We had 100 people. The biggest thing that I did at the door was, hey, it's a private event, but you have to, we're gonna give. I gave away a cigar with every ticket purchase, but I encourage people throughout the night to support the lounge. Go back, buy a cigar. Buy a cigar. I purposely went on stage. You remember, Ray, about every 45 minutes. Hey, welcome to the Cigar Symphony. This is a classy event. We chilling. We had dinner. It was a lot of loud conversation. It was loud. We had a saxophonist. We had music playing over the speakers, but there was a certain decorum and a certain etiquette that that
And,
that
and,
we
and
we
that's what
stood on.
you
You
to.
couldn't bring your bag of cigars in there and start smoking. You
But
need
that
you
boils
need to
down.
patronize the lounge.
It
Right. Let
boils
me let
down.
me let me ask a
Hold on one second,
question.
Will. Hold on a second.
Yes, sir.
It boils down to how you as an individual conduct yourself.
Right.
If you go into a spot and you know it ain't for that necessarily for that act that kind of action, you don't bring it there. But if you go in there and you see, if I go into like and I see dudes, everybody trying to link up, that's not for me. I'm not there for that. I'm here to smoke, chill, and what creates it is the level of music, and it could be you can play with any kind of music, but if the volume of it sets the tone. If it's a if it's extremely loud and it's extremely that provocative, as somebody says, sexy red type shit, you're gonna get that energy because that's what you play. If that's the heavy circulation, you're gonna get that energy. And with the emerging, a lot of times the younger generation, or as Grady said, the immature generation comes in and they request. They go, oh, well, they see a DJ. Oh, but I'm gonna make my request because now that you have a live DJ, people treat the lounge like a club. Because when you go to a club, the crowd goes to the DJ. FEMA, you hear every DJ say, FEMA come to them all night long requesting, and that's what happens. So that's the atmosphere you create.
Yeah.
Now,
Once it's
Yeah.
created, that's what's gonna happen, and you can't get rid of it at that point. You know, because once you try
Right.
to get rid of it, your business is done because
Right,
no,
and
that
that's what I
a
said
That's
lot of
where
earlier.
people ain't
Islands is
coming.
going. That's where
Yeah.
he's going.
So
And
if you
just like we
create
use
that,
the
then
example
that's
of
what it
True Kitchen.
is.
Look what happened to True Kitchen here. After he did that, he went viral all over the nation. And I remember one day, because I know that guy, and I remember one day sitting down and just I spent probably 2 hours going through the comments, man. And I was
Mm.
sitting there like I was so surprised at how many people was like, he don't have the right to do that. And it affected his business. He ended up changing the name of the place because and I believe I can't say that was the actual reason, but man, that place was you had lines around the corner. All of a sudden, we stopped supporting it because he checked some people for being out of character. And I think it goes back to, the things that are important to us as a culture.
Mhm.
For me, when I open my lounge, I'm not doing none of that. And everybody's got to feel welcome. It's, one of the biggest problems that we always say, this is a black business. No, it's a black owned business, but it's a business to support the people within my community. It's not just to support the black people within my community because I'm a black owner. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And I think that's where things go wrong. And I think that Tony's got
Very
the
true.
right deal at El Jefe saying, hey, we're gonna conduct ourselves a certain way, or you're not gonna be in here. But when you go in his lounge, you see all kind of people in there and they're buying cigars.
Right.
That's the idea, is that you want people buying cigars, not coming in there and taking space up. They buy one cigar and then they smoke a whole box of cigars. And then you got people that want to come in, but they don't come in. They can't find a place to sit. People that's willing to patronize you. I don't want nobody to come in and sit in my spot and take up a table all day playing dominoes and they ain't buying no cigars.
Yeah,
After
but
two
correct.
after two
but
hours
the
or so, it's time for you to move around.
the
You
thing is
welcome.
with that what was it, True Kitchen? The that's when we got to go back to being accountable, man. We got to go back to being accountable because for people to have a problem with him telling people get off my furniture, it's not that type of place. And for them to do it again, and for him to say you got to go, like, what do you think? What do you think this man's supposed to do if he not conducting that type of place? It ain't never been that type of place, and y'all want to get up on the furniture and dance, and people trying to eat. And the man told y'all, "Hey, stop doing it." It ain't got nothing to do with him being a bad business owner. It's all that you can't control yourself. You don't, and then you don't take accountability and say he shouldn't have did what he did. Yes, he should have. Had it
Right.
been me, I'd have flipped the booth while you was on it.
Dude,
Right.
he
But
wasn't even
see, I
nice
think
about it. I mean,
you
he
I'd have,
hit
lit him
another.
up. He
but
lit
that
him
was
up.
after, yeah, but
But
that
you
was
don't
after
have
he
to.
had
That
told
was
him
after he said it. But
multiple
look what happened
times.
to his business.
But that's what I'm
When
getting
that
at.
per
That's what
well,
I'm
when the
getting
place
at.
first opened, he had all kinds of people that came in there, all nationalities. When it closed, it was only us. It was only us, and we stopped supporting him because we didn't let him clown. We didn't. He wouldn't let us clown.
We stopped
That's the
supporting
shit
him
that pisses
because
me off.
we like to we won't take accountability.
Right.
We love to get upset with people conducting their business a certain way. Well, with us conducting our business a certain way. Yet, how many videos have you seen in these nail shops where these Asians are hitting the women over the head? They keeping them in there. They force them to pay extra. They're not letting them leave. They mistreating people, and you just keep
They be
going
right back
back.
in there the next week. They be right back in there the next week.
You know
Sung
what I'm
Lee
Yeah,
gonna
I
do
saying?
don't
my
I don't
nails
know
the right
about
way.
that.
We treat us worse
We are
than
our
we
own worst
treat
enemies.
everybody else. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
and
You know,
that's why it makes a lot more sense for us to set the standards. That's why I say what I say all the time. It's not a black business, it's a black owned business, and there's a difference. I
Right.
own it,
So
it's a black owned business. That doesn't mean you get to come in here and I'm not saying that by saying this that okay, you don't get to come in here and act black, but you don't get to come in here and disrespect my business. You gotta go.
no, you can come in and
Period.
act black, but you ain't finna come in and act ignorant. I
You're
think
not
the
gonna
biggest
right.
disrespect. That's what I mean. You're not gonna
the
disrespect my business at all.
one of the biggest challenges, and I found it in the restaurant industry, is the fact that those of us who actually put the work in to have better is now all of a sudden looked at as if we think we're better than the person who didn't want to get off their ass and go do nothing.
I'm cool with that.
And that's what right, and that's what drives the problem in our community. I had to explain to one of my to an executive chef one day. The problem is that I can manage the whites and the Mexicans better than I can manage the blacks because they already think that I'm better than them, all because I bust my ass to become management. And if I don't let them get away with half the fucking rules and break half the rules, then I'm not cool and I don't know where I came from.
That's it.
And at the same time, if I'm not holding them accountable, you as my manager is not going to promote me because you don't think I can do my job and manage my staff. What do you want me to do? So
Right.
that's where it's the standard. A, I have to carry. I got to be above board at all times, right? I got to hold you accountable at all times, while somehow or another figuring out this middle ground that everybody's happy. But you're not going to come in with a wrinkled uniform that you pulled out your bag from 2 days ago when the last time you had it on and say you're ready for work. You're not going to stand in front of me and eat on the line when an inspector's on the end of the line is going to shut down the whole goddamn kitchen. So no, I'm not going to let you do what you just want to do. And that's where it becomes difficult as a black business owner. And we just simply got to set the standards and hold to the standards. And unfortunately, the demise of not getting our business can hurt. No different than if I let you do what you want to do. The people who are gonna actually come in and spend money ain't gonna come in there because they don't want people dancing over their food.
Exactly.
Twerking
Yeah,
on their food.
Right.
I,
Nobody want
I
ass chips in they salmon.
What I
Or
do, what
lashes or
Iron Lungs
anything.
is saying though, I don't think. Oh, I'm
Lashes,
lashes.
pieces of your wig falling off,
Mhm.
heels to
I
be
think
poking through folks' furniture and shit. I mean,
Or
I
Trying to
think when you
stereo.
get back to Iron Lungs' question though, when you get back to that, I don't think that's necessarily happening. I want to be clear in saying I don't think that's necessarily happening because the women are coming. I just think that I don't see nothing wrong with women coming. I
Right.
don't.
No, that's
But
It's a
I
maturity.
think
It's
that
a maturity thing.
it's a maturity thing, and I think that it's incumbent upon the management of whatever cigar lounge. When you see certain things happening, I'm not gonna go around and say, "Hey, don't talk to women," or "Women don't try to impress." I'm not gonna do that. But when I see that it's whatever's going on, whatever activities going on, is messing with my sales, and it starts to begin to change the dynamic in my establishment, I'm gonna cut it out.
so.
And I don't
Let me
think
say
it's
this.
necessarily okay.
Let me say this for clarity. I'm not against the emergence, the female emergence in the cigar culture. That's
I
not
get
what
that.
I'm predicating my statement off of. More so, question. But I'm also not saying that I haven't seen the change since the emergence. And that
mhm.
change comes two part. One, because of the female, the mass female emergence into the lounges, but also the atmosphere that comes along with that. And part of that atmosphere is the club atmosphere. They're coming in there to
Right.
turn up, right? A lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. We've already addressed that, but let me repeat it. A lot of them do come in and they look to turn up. The conversation in the lounge now changes, right? Because there was a time, again, not that it's good or bad, but there was a time there men would come there and they would talk about work, they talk about their families and or anything else. And we can have conversations amongst one another that we're not going to have in the presence of women. Not that we're not going to say the same things in front of them, but the conversation changes.
You
some of them
says
don't.
so.
Some
What
of
you're
them
saying
don't
is
care.
like it was a safe space, in a sense. It was a
Right.
safe space.
So
Yeah, and,
that
and I think
element.
that can exist with women there when people and all of the for me, while I agree that there's a accountability level for people as a whole because there is, but I do believe that when you're talking about a lounge, it's up to the lounge owner to not be disconnected from what's going on, uh, with his lounge. And when he sees that dynamic change, that means he's got to shift his business plan to make
Right.
sure that the atmosphere that he wants to promote and the experience that he wants to deliver doesn't change with that. Whenever
Right.
you got
Absolutely.
women coming in, and it's gonna change a little bit, not because the women are doing anything, but because they're women. And when you put men and women in the same place, like Grady said,
Exactly.
you're gonna get certain
Exactly.
things, but it can be controlled. It
Right.
can be controlled. You just gotta, stand on what your principles are as a business owner.
Right.
Right.
And the
I
other
think
Well,
more
side.
so though, but going back, but to stay in context of what you're saying, if a group of people are a group of women to come and look to turn up, and me as a business owner, knowing the type of establishments that I have, I'm like, ladies, I understand what you're looking for. Here's a better lounge, better suited for what you're looking for, and I'm gonna send them to Chevalier's lounge so they can go turn up and sit on top of the furniture, and twerk and throw it in the
And you
circles.
welcome
Well,
and you're welcome to do so. But when you do
But
that,
that's
you know what I'm gonna tell him, because I'm not gonna piss him off. I'm gonna say, now Grady told me you was coming, but keep your shoes off my furniture. He told me that you was a good friend of his, and it was all right for me to slap the shit out of you, climb up on my table. Grady told me it was okay for me to slap the shit
well,
out of you.
I
and
Now
think
I
and
might not
what
that's
it
do it, but I'll call my wife and have her come up here and do it.
but that's the point. My point is that we could, like we said, there are several lounges that that embrace that type of atmosphere or that type of energy.
Oh yeah.
but I
Suggested
think
Cigar
and send
International.
right.
Cigar
And so
International here in the colony is just that.
instead
But
of
it's gone
being
down.
greedy and try to hold all everybody that walks through your door, send them away.
mm,
The smaller your circle, increase your value. So you have to be able to send them away to the place that embraces what they're looking for, so that like then the conversation should become, girl, we went over to El Jefe and we tried to turn up and that ain't it. But we went over to
Okay.
well,
So let me say this.
Cigar International and turned up and had a good time. So
but
it
I,
established
I think
that
that
standard.
it's more that more than that. It's there are a lot of lounges opening up all over the place. I know in Houston, from my house, I can throw a rock and hit
Yeah,
15 of them. You
that's
know,
true.
it'll bounce through 15 of them. But and they all there's a little bit of each type of lounge, right? You got the club lounge, you got the lounge that's a shop, but they got a little spot where you can sit in the back. They got the lounge that you got to be dressed to walk in there. They got the lounge that you ain't necessarily got to be dressed, but it ain't gonna be turned up. They got the lounge with the DJ. They got the lounge where the owner gonna play music or sports or something like that. I think that with I think that there are people getting into the cigar lounge game who don't necessarily want to open a club for maybe insurance purposes. They don't want to get the liquor license. They don't want that. So they open a cigar lounge where you bring your own liquor, and they say, well, if the men come in here and go spend money on cigars, the women gonna come. The women gonna come, and if the women come, the men gonna come and spend more money. That's what some of them do. And I think when you open a lounge and your initial reason is to have a club, then that's what it's going to be regardless.
Yeah,
Regardless of
you are what you think.
anything else that you do, you're going to have a
Mhm.
club. You know,
You are
so
what you think. If your mindset is just that, that's what it's gonna be. But if you're always checking yourself and you're saying to yourself, "This ain't what I want. This ain't what I intended," and you're intentional about it, you won't have that. And Cigar International here in the colony, and I call shit out. They're the perfect example. When that place changed, I remember walking into the humidor one time. As massive as that humidor is, it was almost half empty. The reason it wasn't because they were sold out, they weren't selling cigars, because the people that bought cigars stopped coming in. The
they don't
people that
like you.
really, yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. Exactly. Lauren, because you've probably been there because you're here. If
Uh-huh.
I remember a time when you could go up there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I used to stop in there before I picked my daughter up for school. So I'd have an hour and a half to kill every day. I was stopping there. I grab a stick. I grab me a old fashioned. I smoke a cigar. Drink an old fashioned. And it's time to pick her up from school. The thing that got me, I would always meet interesting people, black, white, blue, green. I would meet all these interesting people. But I remember they started having this thing on Wednesday night. They brought a DJ in, the management changed. Young brother in there, good guy. They started bringing the DJ in. When they started bringing the DJ in, I was sitting in there one Wednesday. My daughter had volleyball, right? I saw some girls get out of Uber. They had the Uber wait. They walked in the front door, made a right at the bar, went out the side door, and went right back at the patio. And as they were walking out, the girl said, "Ain't nothing going on in here. I'll come back a little later." They didn't come in to buy cigars. They weren't interested in cigars, but the place has got a bar. But they weren't interested in that. Now, the manager could have been wise and kind of, you can't stop people from coming in, but when you have shit like that, you got to shut that down. When you see your crowd changing, you got to kind of find a PC way of shutting it down.
But Chevalier, think about this. Think about this.
Yes, sir.
You said
Yes, sir.
it was a younger management came in there. Right?
Uh-huh.
Younger management came in there. And if you have a cigar lounge that sells alcohol, where are you making more money?
I mean, it just depends. I mean,
You're
I think it
making more
depends.
money. You're
There,
gonna
they
make
were
more
making more
money on
money
the
on
bar.
alcohol.
You're gonna
So
make
Yeah,
more
they made
money
more
on the
money on the
bar
bar, clearly.
because you buy a bottle of shit. I don't know,
It's a
Ciroc
400%
for
markup.
$40.
It's a
You're selling
400%
those
markup.
shots for 400% markup. So you're gonna make more money on the bar versus the cigars. Even if everybody in there walks in and buys one cigar and one drink, you're gonna make more money on the bar. Period.
That's true, but
So
it depends
so
on but to
it
keep
don't
the
depend on
atmosphere.
he
No,
don't
but to
care
keep
about
the
the atmosphere.
atmosphere,
He don't
I
care
care
about
about the
having
atmosphere.
you do, but he don't
Yeah,
care about having
yeah.
businessmen coming in, getting a cigar and drinking an old fashioned, signing, making a deal, and then walking out. He don't care about that. Or sitting in there having a couple old fashions. He don't
It's the
care
checks
about
and
that.
balances.
Yeah,
But
he
here's my
cares
point
about
though.
making the most money. And how is he
Right,
going to
but
make the most money? He's more people coming to the bar. And a lot of times when it gets to that point, it doesn't matter if people are coming in and but just buying drinks and dancing or hanging out outside. It don't matter. He's
They're gonna
making money.
conform.
So he's
They're gonna
making more
conform.
that's
money.
true.
He's making more money than the other management was by having a more upscale clientele.
So
But
let me say
when I
this,
think
right?
about it from Iron Lungs' point, then the whole cigar experience is not about the cigar experience anymore. And that I
This is what
think
I'm
that's
saying.
I
No,
This is
get
what
that.
I'm
It's
saying.
not
you
a
just
it
have to
doesn't but
But
if
there's
we're
that's
also
talking
what
has
you
to do
about
with
want,
from the
maturity.
cigar experience
right?
and
But if
keeping
that's
the
what you
culture
want,
pure.
but look at it.
It
Look at
also
it
Yeah,
this.
it also has to do with the maturity of
right.
people that are coming in there, and
If you
that's a
want,
big part of it as well, right? Because again, those that have been smoking within the last 15 years, 12 years, and just started, they only understand and know the cigar lounge to be the spot now,
Right.
versus us that have been in the game longer that knows what it is just to sit down, listen to some jazz, low tone music, have a conversation, maybe partake in, a drink, and then you go on about your business. They don't know that. So a lot of the
or do they
disconnect,
not care?
yeah, they don't know or they don't care
It's
because now they're
both.
coming to expect it. But the
Right.
What do you mean?
They
education
or
of it
do
all.
they not care? So if I don't want to hear
Right.
Sexy Red and Megan the Stallion and all of that shit, I go to El Jefe
Right. For the turn up.
because I know I'm
And
gonna walk
now,
in, I'm gonna buy
You're
three,
gonna hear
four
some neo
cigars, I'm gonna
soul.
sit down, I'm gonna hear some decent music, some low tone music. I'm gonna be able to talk and have a conversation with the people that's around, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go.
so here's the other
Now,
But
side of it.
if there's
Right. Here's
but
the
somebody
he
other
who
side
wants
of
to
it,
created
right?
that
party,
atmosphere.
if some
Hold on, Shay.
even
Here's the
yeah,
other
because
side of it.
that's what he wanted.
Here's
That's
the
what he
other side of
wanted.
it,
It
though. There's multiple cigar lounges in the area. I'm a cigar lounge, you're a cigar lounge. You created an atmosphere or allowed an atmosphere to be the turn up, right? Mine
Hmm
is more of a
hmm
traditional lounge.
hmm
Now, when I start to think about the
Yep.
rent in comparison to my inventory, Now you are going to come up with a number of how many cigars I need to sell in a day to hit my rent.
Hmm.
But if your spot is the turn up and everybody goes to your spot, that means that I'm doing less business, which
But the
means I
thing
have to do
is,
more.
everybody not gonna go to if I got the club spot
Oh
and
no,
you
I
got the
get it.
laid back spot, right?
You're
So
right.
people coming in my spot, yeah, I'm making more money. But
But I'm
if I
sitting in
got a bar
inventory
and they
longer.
come in, but
I'm
you're
sitting on inventory
not
longer.
necessarily, because the people that come to my spot, they're gonna buy one cigar, maybe two cigars, and they're gonna drink.
Hmm.
They're gonna get fucked up and they're gonna leave. People
Hmm.
are gonna come to your spot and they're going to buy 15, 20 cigars or a box. You're gonna have people that are gonna
Right.
buy
They're gonna buy a
memberships
box of cigars,
and
buy
they're going to
memberships.
buy a
Right.
box. You're gonna have people that might come in once a week that are gonna spend $200 on cigars. Or
Hmm.
you're gonna have the people that come in after work and
Right.
they just want to relax. They're gonna
Right.
buy two cigars. They're gonna sit there and smoke one. They're gonna buy another three and then go home. Because people
Hmm.
in those lounges never just buy two cigars.
True.
They'll
Absolutely
buy,
True.
not.
True.
they might walk in the humidor when they get there, buy two, smoke one, go buy one or two more, and leave
So my point
and
in
come
this,
back
which you're right. My
every
point
day.
in this is the level of influence to the owner, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
what their
Well,
money looks like.
so to your point though, the even though you're making a lot of money, how much of that money, that profit that you see coming through the door and from your bar is going to fix the hole in the wall that somebody just fell through? How many how many
Most of the
tables do you
time,
now
none
have
of
to go and fix?
it.
How many times have you got to replace that window? And now, since you
Or the
have gone,
furniture
since your
or
initial,
anything else.
since
Right.
right, and since your initial business plan was a nice cigar lounge with some music, your insurance was no 1,500 a month.
Hmm.
Now, with your current state in the past 6 months and the amount of claims you can put in, now your insurance is tripled, quadrupled. So yeah, you got all the business walking through the door, but it's going right outside the back door. So
But
Yeah, the first
you know
the
time
what you're
lounge
doing
that is
that
somebody
point?
classy,
they get a drunk driving
but the
accident and they turn around and sue you because your
But you
bar
know what
served
you
them.
do? But you know
Right.
what you do in that point?
right.
At that point, if some well, first of all, if somebody get a drunk driving accident, that
It's
goes
too
to the
late at that point.
bartender. It's your point. But at that point, if I'm having all of these issues, then what I do is uh, raise the price on drinks by $1. They still
Or
gonna pay for it because that's the turned up spot. That's
or
what clubs
or
do.
simplify your life and manage your cigar lounge for what you intended it to be.
But
And
once you start the turn up spot,
You can't
That's
go
where you
back.
stuck. You
you
can't go
stuck
Right.
in the
back.
turn up spot because the minute you say, okay, now we got a dress code, or we're not playing this type of music no more, you know what's gonna happen?
It's gonna
All
hurt your
those
business.
people that are there are
Yeah.
going to leave and go somewhere else. So it all boils down to go to the lounge that
That
has the
best suits you.
ambiance that you want.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think
and more
I'm looking
important,
at the comments. Oshi Road says dress code can change a crowd as well. That's true. I think, I'm only coming from the standpoint because I agree with what you're saying, Ray, but I'm only coming from the standpoint of delivering a true cigar experience. When you have a real cigar lounge and people are paying for memberships, most of the time people they want not only the experience, but they want the feeling of exclusivity that comes with that experience, right?
Some
Man
people,
or woman.
some people.
Well, no. When people do that and they're paying, they want a certain level of exclusivity. That's an expectation because they are paying. They don't want to walk in and can't get to their locker to get their whiskey out, or they can't do this or they can't do that
Well, most of the
because of all
places
the
that are
other
turn up
shenanigans
spots,
that's going
most of
on.
the places that are the turn up spots, they don't really have memberships. Um, Aisha asked, "How do you
but I
guys feel
mean,
about
to
hookahs
the
in
point of
lounges?"
I hate it.
Me
Let's be
too.
clear. Let me say that. No, you raised
I'm
my
not
hand.
I'm not
Yeah,
crazy about it,
I hate that.
but
You
I
shouldn't
think
even
it's
now,
exist.
something that's. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This
Go
stuff,
ahead,
I was just gonna
Lionel.
say it
this
goes
stuff,
back to the context of the business owner to begin with. If you know what your numbers are and what they need to be to cover the rent that you are walking into, establishing the environment that you want, especially as an upscale lounge, and exclusively which is being put on the table now, the members are going to help police themselves anyway because they're not going to allow someone to come bump their table on a $300 bottle of scotch sitting on the table,
Right.
or messing with a locker that they have $5,000 worth of cigars in because that's what they smoke, and that's the
Exactly.
ambiance. So the rent would never be a problem because you factor in how many memberships do I need to cover my rent, how many cigars do I need to move in through my humidor to make sure the rent paid. Whereas the turn up spot is just looking for a number and hoping he can recover the repairs from the Saturday night that they just tore up half the shit, and
Well,
the
Yeah, you
replacement and replacement of the glass that the waitress didn't drop because it's so crowded and they can't move, and then they got to go to plastic cups because they tired of replacing the glasses and watching all their profit go out the way. And you
and
come to
plastic
find
cups
out,
bring a whole nother
problem, right?
type of crowd.
Atmosphere,
But
and then
right.
you,
it's all about the what the management wants for their lounge. You know what I'm
right,
saying? It's
that
all
part,
about what they want for their lounge.
and
And
then the
Right.
turn up spot,
if you want
and
a turn up spot, if you want to dance and you want to do all of the to me line dance and all that, then that's the spot you go to. If you
but
want
you
Right.
to
come,
sit,
I
but you
if
agree
you
also
with
want
that.
find
to
out,
chill, then that's the spot you go to.
but you also find that those turn up spots that turned all this money is closed within a year.
A
And
lot of
that's
them
what I was
do.
just about to say. I'll just and y'all tell me if y'all agree, but I was just about to say that a lot of those spots, a lot of those spots don't last very long unless they have something unique that they're doing to make money. They don't last very long. That
Well,
place where you had your birthday party, Ray,
Many
I
of them
could
in New
see why
York,
he
and they
would
still
last. Because
exist.
first of all, it was a great experience, even though it was loud. He had loud music, but he got a slamming bar. His humidor, his humidor was decent. I didn't think it was the best, but it was decent, and you could get food and things like that. But the
but it was
service
the
levels
crowd.
there
It
were
was the
great.
crowd. Yeah, the
It
service
was
levels, but
the
also the
service
crowd.
levels are great for what you have, and that's
Because
fine, and it works for him
he
because that's
wasn't
what he
playing.
wanted.
He wasn't playing the turn up music. He was
Now we
playing music.
listen to
He was
yeah.
playing music for people who are well over the age of 30 to enjoy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
But at
saying?
the end of the day, we can all agree that turnups are like Kaiser said in the comments over here. Turnups are lived. Cigars and other things. What's welcome to the lounge? Shit,
Yeah.
we didn't went over a little bit,
That's
but
what I'm
we
about to say.
shit.
We're gonna take a break and we'll be back with ashes and glasses.
Yeah.
At ChevalierLife.com, our personalized humidors, cigar accessories, and apparel are unique and the perfect gift for yourself or your favorite cigar enthusiast. Send us any high resolution image or logo, and we'll design your personalized humidor. Visit ChevalierLife.com for details, or go to my Instagram at ChevalierLife and simply click the link in the bio.
I played that one because I didn't want to play that sad
Thank
ass
you.
music for the other one.
Thank you. Look, hey, tomorrow, I promise you tomorrow I'm gonna make you a newer commercial.
It could be the same commercial, just put new music to it.
Now I'm
That
gonna make
shit
I'm gonna
sad.
make you a different commercial because I've been doing all this content every day because I'm stuck at the house for another 5 weeks. I'm gonna make you a new commercial tomorrow.
Stop twerking on top of the truck. All right, it's time for ashes and glasses.
You tangled
All right,
yourself up.
this is ashes and glasses. This is the way we like to end the show. Everybody on screen got to say a toast. And if you got a toast in the comments, put it in the comments. We'll read it out. The toast does not have to be serious. Toast can be whatever you want the toast to be. Our resident champion is not here today, so we're gonna have to make it through it without it. So we're gonna start with the newest on the screen. We're gonna start with Mr. Iron Lungs.
Come on, bro. You are very eloquent. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
We can't hear you. You
We can hear
muted?
you.
Unmute yourself.
I'm gonna save my comments for later, but I'm gonna give you what you're asking for. Here's my toast. Although I don't have,
You want to go in?
And you can toast with water, a cigar, whatever. There it is.
I toast to surviving the cigar culture.
Cheers.
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 I don't know where the hell Grady at.
He
Ready
can't.
to
He
start.
can't drink and drive.
Oh wait. I can. Oh, we couldn't see you. Come on,
Man,
Oh
Grady.
wow.
turn your
You can't.
dome light on or something.
Come on, man. Give us a toast. What is that? What is that?
Hey, a toast to friends that's always there whenever you decide to come back home. I missed you guys. Glad to be welcomed back with open arms.
Welcome back.
Definitely, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back, man. We love you, bro.
Is that a Four Loco?
Wow. That?
That's Minnesota. You know they limit on what they can sell up there.
Yeah. They
Oh
can't.
wow.
They
Yeah,
can't
you
even
know they
smoke in the
can't.
cigar
You
lounge no
can't.
more.
You got 15 minutes to smoke your cigar in Minnesota. That's the new
That
state
listen,
law.
no, that's in Minneapolis. So you go
Oh,
outside of Minneapolis and then you can smoke as long as you want.
there ain't
Oh,
no cities outside of Minneapolis.
well, come on.
I mean,
Oh wow. Yeah, Princeville. It's called Princeville.
So it's
oh,
one.
right on. There's
One.
one.
So come on, unlockable player. That's you, Mark.
Oh,
Hmm.
right.
Mark, I'm gonna send you some more LED lights, man. Run
Yeah,
out of
you
your
see
mouth.
they on the bullshit tonight, but I'm gonna get them back. Don't worry.
No, no.
Y'all know I don't
All right.
forget.
All right. I want to toast to brotherhood, sisterhood, and love not the least. Let's keep it
Cheers.
going.
Cheers.
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 Lauren, it's on you.
Um, I want to toast to the bro code.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something, Lord. I see Lauren is a wine connoisseur because she keeps shaking that wine glass.
Well, you got the air rate. You got the air
I,
rate.
wait,
Gotta let it breathe, man. You gotta let it breathe, bro.
wait. I ain't asked you nothing. I'm talking to the young lady.
Well, I can barely see you though, sir. So whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't unlocked you yet.
Wait,
We can't even see your teeth yet.
Wait.
So we got one from the comments. This goes out to all my people that live in darkness, yet they're still working towards the light. I believe that's a deep one. That is a very deep toast.
That's a deep one. That's a deep
But it's
toast.
also for Mark.
on your bullshit every tonight. Okay, all right. It's okay.
Hey, if they ain't fucking with you, they don't like you. I tell
I
you
know.
that.
I know.
Exactly. Come on, Chevalier, what you got?
So my toast is twofold. First of all, I want to toast
Oh,
to all the
shit. Here we
guests
go.
that joined us tonight. I want to toast Lauren for the great topic today. Thank you so much, Lauren, for reaching out and then coming on with us to present your topic. We really appreciate it. So here's to y'all and everybody that supports us.
Cheers.
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 My toast
All right,
goes.
baseball.
My toast goes to the unlockable players. Y'all gonna beat the final boss and get that unlockable player. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. I got you.
No, you don't.
Okay. I'm gonna leave you alone, Ray. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Leave them alone. This has been the Lounge of Raytruelife. I'm Chevalier Life. We do this every Tuesday
Wait a
at
minute.
7:30 p.m.
Wait a minute. Lauren, Kaiser on Instagram, he says if you use your frother in the wine, it gives it a whole new taste.
It does, though.
I'm never gonna try it.
I'm not
Don't.
frothing no wine.
I ain't frothing no wine, man. But hey, cheers to that shit. Yeah,
Cheers to
cheers to people who
cheers to a
froth
wine
their
frothing.
wine.
aerated. I hear you.
Oh,
That's crazy. Well, like
that's
I said,
a
this is
whole
the
new
Lounge.
concept.
We do this every Tuesday at